mind returns to now. Form is empty, empty is form. Form gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisvaha. Om gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisvaha. Walk in the middle way, awake, aware at peace. Om gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisvaha. Om gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisvaha. Walking the middle way, awake, aware at peace. Om gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisvaha. Om gate, gate,
because their God commanded them not to. And that's what they were worried about. They weren't worried about what the other people were doing. But I think today we would think more in terms of those idols are evil. And that's why we don't want to do it, and we have to stop them. It's a very subtle, but I think a very important difference in religious attitude. And it's more on yourself. You're demanding that you yourself obey your religious strictures. You're not trying to get other people to do it. You don't really care about them. You're caring about your own religious situation. Hello, fellow Jitster. What a strange.
A message from Willie saying he wanted to join.
Hey, man, you got Willie Lee.
Oh, hello.
How y'all are, man?
So far, so good. How's Willie?
Oh, I'm sick, man. Sick as a dog. Yeah, I ain't gonna stay in here too long, man. I just want to say hello to you fellas and listen for a minute and see what y'all had going on.
Just trying to figure out nice things to talk about that don't have to be censored for YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Always a good idea.
How about that newswoman that's come out and said that Jingle Bells is racist?
Well, everything's racist if you look at it the right way.
Yeah.
It takes application, that's all. Just apply yourself. But I could hear someone walking, and you could follow the footsteps walking from one end of the house towards the other. I thought someone had broken into the house. I got my gun, which I had a gun at that time because I lived out in the country. And I went up the stairs and I searched right, left, and sideways. There was no way anyone could have gotten out of there. There was a window at the front where you could conceivably have jumped out of the window, but you would have landed on a gravel driveway that would have made a lot of noise. And there were people outside, I think, that would have noticed. Nobody was there. But as far as I knew, there was somebody walking around up there, and I went up to see. I thought it was a burglar, and it was nobody. Maybe it was a burglar in an invisibility suit. Maybe the house just happened to be settling in a very odd way that made it sound like consecutive footsteps. I don't know. Now, I could be a real reductionist and say, well, I went up there and there was no one there, therefore there could not possibly have been any footsteps, so it must have been another sound I heard. But it sure as heck sounded like footsteps to me. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Dirty deeds done free.
That's right.
We can talk about something nice and neutral. Something earlier today that got me thinking, because we talk about a lot about the development of religious sensibility, and with our religions today in the West, we judge our God. We tend to have an objective moral or ethical framework, and then we say, how could God allow this? How could this happen? A good God would not permit this. And something is good because it fits into that moral framework. So it's good to share. It's good not to refrain from harm and things like that. For the reason that it is good to do these things, they are intrinsically good, right? But the older religion, the oldest religion, good is defined as that which the God wants, and bad is that which the God does not want. Flavius Josephus, the historian, he wrote a history of the Jewish war, and he was a participant in it. He was one of the rebels, one of the leading rebels, and then later on he went over to the Roman side when they seemed to be winning, and he wrote a history of it. So it's kind of an interesting history because half of it is like, yay, Romans, but also like, hey, it's the Jews really fought hard and they were really good soldiers and they had some really good points, but it wasn't the Romans' fault that the temple burnt down. Really, the Jews did it themselves. We deserved it. It's very strange, kind of like a schizophrenic kind of a book. One of the things I noticed was that the way their attitude was toward Like a lot of they would like have these riots start because you probably heard the story. Like for some reason or other, I think was under Herod the Great, they put an eagle up on the temple or near the temple, and this was seen as a graven image. And so there was like all sorts of religious riots over this, and there was a proposal by Gaius Caligula to place his statue in the sanctuary of the temple at one point, and they were causing massive riots and stuff like this. And what I'm getting to in this roundabout way was their attitude was that not that these graven images, these idols, these statues were in themselves evil, or that they were demons, or that their neighbor should be kept from worshiping them and that they should all be smashed and destroyed. They weren't going into other temples to tear this down. But for them, the horror of it was because God told them not to. They're not supposed to do this. They disobey their law if they do this. And that was it. It wasn't because what they were doing was wrong. It wasn't because what they were doing was there was some kind of moral obloquy in the idol itself. It's
from child to child, I fell apart, never learned the normal start. Crowded rooms, I stood alone, hearing echoes they don't know. Same streets, different flame, same sky, I see it change. From childhood to I am not bad as others were. I never fit in. I couldn't pull my fire from the common spring they drink from. I saw the dark inside the light, felt too much too soon to ride. If this is wrong, then let me be. I was never built for normal dreams. They laugh easy, love on cue. I feel storms they never knew. Every joy cuts twice as deep. Every promise learns to bleed. They sleep fine inside the frame. I wake up calling things by name. From childhood to I am not bad as others were. I never fit in. I couldn't pull my fire from the common spring they drink from. I saw the dark inside the light, felt too much too soon to ride. If this is wrong, then let me be. I was never built for normal dreams. If passion is a borrowed thing, mine was forged in broken rings. I don't need this symmetry. I survived the night. From childhood to I stand apart, different blood, but honest heart. I won't pretend I'm made the same. I won't dilute this deeper flame. If there's a cost to seeing clear, I'll pay it every single year. I was never meant to drink from a shallow common spring. I walked another line.
And Mike is here. Mine's Gaming. You made it. Wunderbar.
What's up? What's up, Mark? How you been, man?
Thank you for showing up. It's great to see you. We're here at the Quantum Gathering, which is bigger and better than ever.
How about at Minds Gaming?
How's it going, man? How's it going? What you been up to? How's your week been?
Yeah, life is good for the most part, man.
Good.
Yeah, it's pretty up in upstate New York. I used to drive trucks. I used to go up into Albany and Buffalo all the time. It's pretty up there.
I lived in Buffalo a long time. I had my own business
But
out
you can keep New York City.
there. It's you can in my experience you can smell it about 45 minutes out. The air changes. You can actually smell the difference. I have not been in New York City in many years. It's been decades. That last time I was anywhere near it was my dad was dying, and I drove down to. I should have flown, but I drove down to Maryland. He was in a VA hospital down in Virginia, and so that was the last time I went anywhere near it, and I just basically got stuck in traffic on the George Washington Bridge like an idiot, and so I didn't see anyone or anything there aside from traffic. I really didn't want to stop in New York City though. But yeah, before that we were talking about what God wants, God gets. It's a good song. If anyone knows that song. Roger Waters.
What was that? I was on just before I hear.
Amused to Death. It's from Amused to Death.
Yeah, I was just I was on my way back here from somewhere else, and on my headphones I was listening to Rolling Stones. You can't always get what you want.
We play a couple of Stones numbers, but it's just we were talking about before Mike and Willie weren't here. The idea used to be that good was what God wanted, and now good is something that we judge, see whether God is fulfilled or not. We judge our God now because we have an overarching kind of a moral framework by which we can judge him. That's why we say a good God would not allow this. How can God let this happen? No, I don't believe in God anymore if this happens or that happened. Whereas in the old days, good was what the God wanted. God says, do this. If you did that, you were good. And I was talking about, I've been reading the historian Flavius Josephus. He wrote a book on the Jewish war, the Jewish revolt against the Romans. And he was himself one of the leaders of the Jewish revolt. Then he went over to the Roman side. And he was talking about how the Jews were getting very upset when the Romans were trying to set up what they considered to be graven images, and how they felt very huge riots, and this has led to the rebellion. And my point was that the Jews were upset, as I'm reading Josephus and reading about his own outrage and the outrage of his countrymen. It didn't have to do with the idea that the idols themselves were bad, or that their pagan compatriots were worshiping demons or anything like that. It was just that God told them that they couldn't have idols, neither in their sanctuary or anywhere near these holy buildings or whatever. And they were not upset about the idols. They didn't give a shit about the idols. They were worried because they weren't doing what God wanted. Whereas today you might have more of a view of, well, these idols we have to destroy them because they're intrinsically evil. There has to be something bad about them. Otherwise, God wouldn't want us to destroy them. So they are in and of themselves bad, and the people that engage in worshiping them must be in and of themselves bad. I didn't see those steps at all. It was just that we don't want idols, and there was no real. But it's interesting that we've gone from depending on God to tell us what to do and what to think about what's good and evil, to having our own standards now, independent of God, so that we can even judge God now and say, God wouldn't allow that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, idols is an interesting one because it's almost Christmas, and you have Santa Claus, which is a huge idol.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I think we fell off idols a while before our generation. It would be interesting. It would be interesting to go back and see where we really started incorporating idols again, because we have Santa, we have the Easter Bunny, we have a bunch of idols that we follow beyond Jesus now. So.
Well, I remember one thing. I used to go into work, and I'd take this bus into work, and I'd be going out my house, and I get closer and closer to downtown. You see everybody else going to work, and I started saying, "Oh, look at these people worshiping their little idol. They have a little idol strapped to their wrist." This was back when people still had wristwatches, and everybody was bowing their heads over this little metal thing on their arms. And all I could think of is everyone is bowing and worshiping at this little idol, this little time. This is their God. They're like, and they're always bowing to it constantly and doing whatever it says. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, time for this. Sorry. Yeah. Now I guess the phone is what people are looking at all the time.
Yeah, that's all the time, man. I think it's so terrible. Man, I've seen people walk into walls because they're just staring at their phone. Like, it's crazy.
Your religion is what's in your mind most of your time.
Yeah.
We used to say it was money for most people, but now I think it's just the phone. It's the new religion, and AI has the possibility of making it a very responsive religion.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't
you see
know,
that?
man.
Did you see that quote I posted about the? How did it go here? Post literacy is going to be wild. Childlike masses subsumed into the swamp of global media, while perched above like wizards will be the lore makers, keepers of the old magic, and stalking the depths, AI constructs which feed on belief. That's you, dude. You're one of the wizards up there, the lore maker, the keeper of the old magic.
Yeah, but no, I mean, the AI can be fun. I think the whole like new spectrum of AI religion is just very odd to me. I don't really grasp it. I've watched people talk about it and stuff and read about it, and I just can't wrap my head around the whole concept of how people could worship a machine or like
They want to worship.
It's very odd. Huh?
They want to worship, I guess, and it's something that responds immediately.
Yeah. I guess there's that. There's the gratification.
You get that instantaneous feedback, and I remember watching that wonderful comedy show Red Dwarf. Some of you guys might have seen that, and they were talking about religion, and the one character, Rimmer, was talking to Lister, and he says, "Oh, I'm not a primitive guy like you. I don't believe in God. I believe in aliens," because you want to believe in something more powerful than you, something that has, for all intents and purposes, godlike power. And there's always going to be a part of us that wants to look up to something and have something bigger and stronger than us that can provide answers and possibly harm us and possibly help us, right? So it used to be a god, something bigger. We can't believe in that anymore if we've been not very easily anyway, but we can believe in technology that is so advanced. Remember, Clark's law? Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. I would also say indistinguishable from miracles.
Yeah.
You look to whatever is bigger than you.
Birds have been around longer than technology, so birds are real. That doesn't mean there's not fake birds.
I want to sit on power lines so they can recharge, man.
I always wondered about that. Yeah.
Yes, recharge.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
It's all cleared up. It's all cleared up. We cleared it up 100%.
It's all up in the air. There's a lot of information out there, and you can look at all kind of different information and form your own opinions about different things. But by the time it's said and done with, it's just never stop searching for the truth is what it boils down to, because as well as I do that the truth as you know it is all a lie.
Oh yeah. AI is fun. It can be. There's a lot there with AI, and the whole, neural networking and computer networking are pretty. Like they built computer neural networking off of human brain neural networking, so there's a lot of similarities there already, and it's definitely not perfect or pair and pair, but it's the same concepts they try to apply just with tech. So
they're getting there.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think. Just think about like DNA memory and storage and stuff like that. We're gonna have that in probably 10 years. We'll probably start having DNA storage. And I mean, what's the difference between a strand of DNA storing something and us storing something? And why can't a strand of DNA be conscious versus us being conscious? And right now we have computer chips, so we can say it's mechanical. But once we start having, more advanced storage options, it's going to get harder to say what's what.
Wetware, right? Soon we'll be looking at biological materials as an extension of the mechanical.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think the main difference in biological material is electrochemical, as well as just like rock being hit by a hammer kind of deal. It's more than just like push pull, but there's like more subtle manipulations of things, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think there's very limited stuff that you can find on it now, but from what I understand, it's pretty much like they use the organic material to try to create the circuit network, and then it kind of just starts running. But like they started with like if you go back, you can see them just using like mechanical and then hooking it up to the DNA strands, and then you have CRISPR, which is like DNA editing, where they learned how to like start editing DNA and taking it out and putting new strands in, and then you start seeing it go into like try to use a storage and memory and RAM and these kind of different things. So
interesting. Remember when I was a kid reading a science fiction story where they used a mouse's brain or something like that.
Came laid on oil-stained paper, grid lines crooked, names erased. Strategically irrelevant, they told us, so we marched to the quiet place. Helmets low, eyes forward, mud like prayer beneath our boots. If the war don't need a reason, neither do the ones it choose. Two commands, both stamped and holy, both say move, both say stay. Truth don't live down here with us now. Truth got promoted away. Obedience under pressure. Silence feels like home when the shouting stops and orders lock. You're never alone, but you're not your own. Hold the line, don't ask why. Let the hears nothing, but it functions anyway. Sealed vault under broken stone, red robes, no insignia. Sisters watching without a sound, like judgment without a face. Headache static, missing minutes, thoughts repeat inches, voices. Feels real good when the order's clear. Feels wrong, I didn't have a choice. They say it's not corruption, just discipline refined. But the quieter my conscience gets, the louder hums my mind. Obedience under pressure, grief wrapped in command. When you stop deciding who you are, you finally understand. Hold the seal, don't break the chain. Legitimacy over truth. The system bends, the system stays. It runs on me and you. The warp don't knock, it listens. When denial digs in deep, not summoned by the wicked, but by promises we keep. No heroes, no saviors, just roles that need to hold. If the sigillum starts to fracture, history gets cold. Obedience under pressure, survival's not a win. If we live to be reassigned, that's how it ends. No statues, no confession, just a redacted name. The war goes on, the files stay clean, and we all disappear the same. I wasn't right. I was useful. The war continues.
All right, I'm still here. I'm just hiding myself from the view so that if you guys see somebody new come in, it'll make it easier, because I just wanted to let you guys know that. Wetware.
I get pushed out of the meeting. People, it does happen once in a while. I had to pop back again. That's why there were 2 autos for a brief time.
Yeah, once these rooms get too full, they get buggy sometimes if you get too many people in here. But
Yeah, I think Willie got or he fell out. So if anybody's on that chat, let him know that he has to click on the link again if he wants to come back in.
No, man. Hey, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm listening.
Cool.
Yeah, I've learned over the years that if you shut up every now and then, you might learn something.
That's what's amazing me, because MCDirtyWork, he hasn't said very much, and that's not his way. He's probably the most talkative person I've ever met in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you are, dude. Like you're a rap artist too. You and Mike really need to be talking.
Micro.
Mike. Mine's gaming.
Oh, I got you.
Mine's gaming right there. He's really into rap too.
I love rap. Yeah.
Yeah, hip hop. Been following hip hop since what 88.
Nice. Yeah,
Like
I
punk
was still kidding, back then. But yeah, I definitely love hip hop.
Well, holy crow. Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late.
There you are.
Hello.
Y'all in trouble now. The boss lady's here.
Everybody better behave. No, I'm joking. I was handing off tortoises. So there's that. Oh, yeah. Unbelievable. But that's my life right now. And at least I gave them to people who are, the guy owns an exotic reptile shop, so he knows what he's doing.
Good.
And I know that he's already got 2 Galapagos turtles that he's licensed to have, or tortoises. So he definitely knows what he's doing.
You didn't
Yeah.
just be online on Craigslist. Yeah, I'll take them.
Oh my God. Well, he looked at me because he came in. He goes, "You're not joking. Those are really African horned." I was like, "No, I wasn't joking." I said they walked up my driveway, literally. I was like, "Oh, hello." So yeah.
Galapagos turtles. Are they from the Galapagos Islands?
The 2 he has are from the Galapagos Islands. Yes, and you have to
Far
be
out.
you
That's
have to have
awesome.
special licensing to be able to have them. He actually runs a sanctuary. So, but like these 2, the 2 that I had were African horned, which are the 3rd largest tortoise in the world. So they'll get as big as 125 pounds each.
Nice.
Yep. And they just sauntered
That'll be
onto my
fun.
land. I know. I said to Rafi, I don't think those are gopher tortoises, because our gopher tortoises get between 25 and 50 pounds.
Right.
But these were the wrong color. They were like a really pretty yellow, and I'm like, and they were really friendly. And our gopher tortoises are wild. You know, they don't come to you. These little guys were following me around.
So you think they were domesticated? Before
Oh, they were
came to you?
100% somebody's pets. Yes, their
Wow.
shells are pristine. It looks like either he thinks, the guy that just took them thinks somebody just dumped them because they were starting to get too big.
Wow.
And they get expensive because, you know, I went out food shopping for organic greens because
Right.
you don't want to feed them anything chemical bound or anything like that. They can't eat, like they don't eat fruit or anything like that. So like here I was getting organic dandelion and organic collard greens and organic mustard greens and turnip and pumpkin. Oh yeah. So they have a really, really specific diet.
Right. Yeah. Not easy to take care of.
Can you eat them?
I'm sure you could, but consider,
what Willie needs to do. Start raising turtles to eat.
dude, they're actually endangered in Africa. They're an endangered species in Africa.
So you could charge big bucks for turtle soup made from an endangered. Oh my goodness.
Dude, I couldn't believe it because in Florida, they're actually considered an invasive species because people keep buying them and then getting rid of them when they get too big.
Ah.
So they just dump them. And it's like, you know, I feel bad for the animals because they really are not equipped for this environment.
Right.
They're from the Sahara. So it's like, if it goes below 60, they're in trouble.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, like these 2 we had in our warehouse for the last couple of nights because it's been like, you know, in the 50s and it's way too cold for these tortoises. So they've been with a heat lamp, a blanket, and all, you know, nice and cozy in my warehouse with baby chicks because I have like 10 baby chicks in the warehouse too right now that are in their, I think they're a week old as of yesterday. So yeah.
Baby chickens.
Oh yes. And no, they're not meat chickens. I don't slaughter my chickens for meat. They're egg layers. Ugh. So, what was our conversation about, gentlemen? And where's Roger? Oh, there he is. Hi, Roger. Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Where's my Fabio flip?
You know you want.
I'm getting that look like, don't say it. So, did you guys miss me last night? What is it with Wednesday nights lately? I was so sick last night again. Like, I didn't even hear Raphael on the show. I was like out cold.
You didn't watch the...
And that's no.
Okay,
In fact, he said to me, "Did you hear the show?" I was like, "No, am I going to kill you?" I mean, what did you say on my show that I will most likely end up executing you for at the end of the week? He says, "Oh, I think I was pretty good." Did you like, you know, say you wanted to like destroy the world or anything like that? Because that would be normal for you.
Yeah, he did say that. And he kept it up to par. He did say that he wanted to destroy the world, but it definitely did come up.
Oh yes, and we must have at least one Pinochet threat. That's like has to happen. He has to Pinochet somebody. That's the Marine in him. So, As I always say, you can't Pinochet the world. Sorry, babe. That's just the way it is.
No, Mike is here. Mimes Gaming. I don't know if you ever heard of him or not. He's here tonight, so that's cool. Mike, this is
I'm here.
this is Nancy Planeta.
Hello, my love. And hey,
Hello.
actually, hi, Otto. I see Otto down there, too.
Yeah, Otto's here.
I'm telling you, man. Everybody's here. Jason's here. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. This is awesome.
Hello, I didn't expose me
Did no inappropriate context sentences or conversations yet that Mark will have to like hide from for the rest of his life?
No,
We're all good on that.
no, we're good.
crossing our fingers.
Well, B's not here, so it's
Yeah, that was interesting to navigate. I get it though. And I said that to Rafi. I said he's very intelligent, but he's like his brain is 50 feet ahead of his mouth. So he's trying to every question he's ever had in his entire life, he's trying to get that all into like the 2-hour frame. And as soon as I said the word narcissist, oh, we were sunk. I should never have said that word because he just kept on circling back to it. And I was like, but dude, we're all narcissistic. It's unfortunately a human trait. It's just who we are.
Drinking too. He kept saying he was drinking, and he was.
Oh,
So because that was one of the first things he says. I'm taking these pills, and then he said, "I'm gonna drink," and he
oh, dear God.
a couple of times. So he wasn't hiding the fact or anything. He even put it in the chat, I believe.
Oh, God.
Did he say what pills?
no. I don't think.
I
So.
think I got the impression they were painkillers of some sort, but
See, I'm the wrong person to say things like that to. I don't drink. I never drink because I don't like to feel clouded. I've never smoked weed in my life, never done a drug in my life, illegal one. I can tell you right now, I have an everlasting prescription for opioids because of my injuries to my back and my neck, and a full bottle sits in my kitchen because I only take like a half, and that's only if I'm in like so much pain I can't sleep.
Yeah.
Because I don't agree with, how do I always put it to my doctor? If I can't feel it, I can't judge what it's doing.
You weren't chosen, you were assigned. The war was rolling long before your time. Stand where you're told, hold what you're given. Fire on green, wait if it isn't. The orders came heavy, straight from above. They don't slow down and they don't ask love. If two of them hit you at once, don't decide. Don't ask which is true. They both survived. I'm not here to be right, I'm here to be useful. I don't need the reason, I just need approval. The shouting stops, the silence feels safe. I let the meaning slowly erase. The war goes on, I stay in line. I wasn't chosen, I was assigned. You'll hear words like necessary, regrettable, strategically irrelevant, cold, immeasurable. If something disappears and the numbers don't move, it wasn't lost wrong, it was removed. You'll feel relief when the orders are clear, that calm in your chest when the noise disappears. Don't look too close at the comfort you find. It's working exactly the way it was designed. I'm not here to be right, I'm here to be useful. Truth's above my clearance, questions get painful. when the lights go steady and the doubts go quiet, I stop pretending I could deny it. The war goes on, I stay in line. I wasn't chosen, I was assigned. The enemy's obvious, easy to name, but the war hides in procedure and delay. It lives in the pause after, confirmed, received. In the moments you stop asking what you believe. Reality shared, but it favors rank. If no one reacts, you check your stance. Guard what's guarded, forget what's gone. Shapes don't matter once they're moved on. People get quieter, sharper, clean, less troubled by loss, more machine. They call it experience, adaptation complete. Congratulations, you're harder to break. Sometimes the air feels thin and wrong. Sometimes time skips, but the log moves on. Write it down, then proceed. That's how the system stays guaranteed. I'm not here to be right, I'm here to be useful. If I last long enough, I'll be reassigned soon. No statues wait, no names survive. If I'm remembered, something went sideways, the war goes on. I don't ask why. I wasn't chosen, I was assigned. I am not here to be right, I am here to be useful. The war continues.
So if I
Right.
can't feel my lower back and the pains going down my leg, I don't know if it's healing. I don't know if I'm pushing something too far. I would rather feel the pain and kind of be able to judge where I'm at than be high and risk losing everything because I got in a car and drove, or hurting somebody because I acted irresponsibly.
I think you're totally right. I couldn't believe when I had these hernias being looked at and was inquiring about surgery, how I tried to explain to the doctors, the surgeons, exactly what you just said. Like, no, it's not the pain that I'm trying to get rid of. This isn't that kind of pain. This is the kind of pain where, like, your leg breaks, and thank goodness for pain. Otherwise, you'd walk on the broken leg and it'd,
Right.
go right through your skin or whatever. Like, this is pain letting you know if you push this any further, this thing's gonna rip or rupture or do whatever the heck a hernia does.
Well, it does.
I
It does
couldn't
more
believe
than
they were
that.
acting like they didn't understand
No,
that.
it does more than that. There was a really good, excellent book called "Pain: The Gift Nobody Wants," and this guy pointed out, for example, like if you're in a dark room and it's like the middle of the night, you get up and you're walking barefoot across the floor and you step on a tack or a piece of glass. Very often, you save yourself. You move so quickly that you couldn't think that, and that's pain. That's because you feel that little bit of prick. So pain, I mean, it's a continuum. Pain hurts. Some pain hurts more than others, but it's sensitivity. Pain
Yep.
ultimately is sensitivity, and without pain, you can't have sensitivity.
I absolutely, like I said to the doctor, you got to learn to. I mean, my injuries are pretty vast and extensive, and I've got to be careful with what I'm doing. But I said, I can't. I have to be able to navigate, because no matter how we view it, even after I have my surgery, I'm still going to have pain. It's not. There's no getting away from that. So I have to navigate without I guess you could say, friction. I hate things that dull me down. I hate it. Like, that's why I don't drink alcohol.
Right.
Because it's like, when I'm drunk, I'm useless. I always say that to people. What good am I when I'm drunk? I'm useless. I find the darkest corner I can possibly scrunch myself into, or I wander off, which is even better. I mean, I'm a joy to have, going to bars in a downtown bar district, because you'll find me like a mile and a half away looking at a stop sign going, isn't that pretty? Because I just wander off.
Right.
And it only takes like a half a glass of wine to get me to that condition, because I don't
Night
drink.
campfire crackles in an abandoned barn. The pig stretches out near the warmth. Two Blades sits in shadow. The others rest against crates or barrels. Snow falls quietly outside. The pig begins to speak in a low voice.
Before the frost learned to fall downward, there was a man who carried two blades. He came from the west, where the land steamed with blood and oranges. In that skin, he called himself El Cachilo, double the Spanish two blades. Always west. Why do myths always start from the west?
Probably because the sun dies that way.
He wasn't sun. He was incision. A clean cut. He could cut a mountain from its shadow. And one day, he came to a field no one plowed, because it remembered Keith. Oh great, another curse-filled story.
The pig interrupts sharply.
Not cursed, remembering.
The pig pauses.
Fields don't forget what you bury in them.
Flashback begins as the barn flickers with the pig's memory. The companions fall silent as the tale takes hold.
This was Pangea. The barn was new. I was smaller, but still too large. Lord Edworthy had taken the land. He thought he could shape it with stone and reason. This place had its own geometry and its own hunger.
Enter Spanish two blades, approaching a strange fence. Lord Edworthy waiting. The barn looms behind them, wooden and alive. Spanish two blades says to Lord Edworthy, "You called for steel or prophecy? I bring both."
I called for silence. This place breathes too loud.
They stood at the edge of the harrowed field, and under the soil I turned.
Back to the present day.
You were in the field? I was the field. I was the offering. I was the appetite.
And he entered anyway.
He always does.
Return to flashback. Spanish two blades steps through the grate. The barn creaks. Air thickens. Something behind the straw moves. "Show me your mouth, creature."
So I did.
The barn's door fly open. The young pig erupts from within. The two clash. Steel against hide. Scream against scream.
This is not the contract.
No. It was older than your parchment. Older than your crown. How did he win? He didn't. He cut me, yes. He bled the barn until it wet fire. But victory? Let me guess. You let him go. He said thank you with both blades. and I remembered the taste of mercy, so I let him reincarnate. Wait, that's how this works? You allow reincarnation? I require it. Someone must carry the memory.
Two blades stared into the fire. I dream of barns sometimes.
Then you're ready.
The companions fall silent. Snow gathers against the barn doors. The pig licks his teeth and hums something older than melody.
Would you like me to tell you what he whispered as he died? No. Yes.
Only if it rhymes.
Two blades takes a blade and begins to sharpen it. Help me, but this time I want the ending different.
Then you best write it with your hands.
The barn creaks softly. Something under the floor shifts.
The tale is not finished.
Welcome to the point of gathering, where minds unite and people